Hello, it's Scott Manley here, and I am finally playing the final Gamma release of Elite. This is supposed to be a feature-complete version of the Elite universe. At least feature-complete for this release. We all know there's going to be updates later on to add planetary landing and walking around stations, but this is what's going to get released in the middle of December as a full game for everybody that has backed it. Now, if you are an early backer, you will have access to the Gamma, which has added a bunch of new features. Obviously, we've got a number of new spacecraft. I don't believe that we have all the spacecraft in the final game yet, so there's a few more to get added before December. But the entire galaxy is now available to explore, and all the different start options are now in the game. So you can start in the Founders system with your Cobra Mark III if you like. Now I've got to look to the galaxy map to figure out where I want to go next. I've got a very specific place that I want to go, which is Sol. Sol's all the way over there. I'm going to go there. So, dear, I think I made a bit of a misjump. Shouldn't have gone that way. Let's select that as my destination and just immediately jump to it. Galaxy map. Oh, down the bottom here. V6 Centauri. Engage hyperdrive. Excellent. We're just going to try and get over there as quickly as possible. I started in the Founder system with a Cobra Mark III and a bunch of cash, and I immediately fitted a fuel scoop so that I will be able to get across this vast gulf of space without actually stopping very often. I have switched it into single player mode because there does appear to be a lot of people in the system. There might be some stability. I'm hoping they fix that, but it just, in case something happens, I don't want to be dropping. I would want to be, dropping out in the middle of a video because that's always problematic. Wow, this is a small bright star. It's a white dwarf. Sweet. Did not know that white dwarfs existed in this game. So I'm just going to point my spacecraft away from it for now, and then find my next step in life. Looking around the cockpit, you see I still don't have my co-pilot. Now, of course, I have three different... the different factions are all listed on the side monitor here, and I have 3 different combat ranks. I've got all bunch of stuff here. I'm obviously not carrying cargo because I want to... Oh, there's Gary at Terminal! Ha ha ha! I wonder if that's named for a certain game developer who was hugely influential. Okay, let's go to the galaxy map. So we gotta find Sol. Important thing to note, incidentally. Remember that little pill-shaped section of space? It's all gone. The whole galaxy practically is available. There is some limitations to that just yet, but I don't see that we're having trouble. Okay, so we want LHS 2552. Or that's a little too far away. That's 15 light years. So we should be ready to go. Enable hyperdrive. Oh no, I gotta select it from here, apparently. LHS 2522. There's a lot of places. Lock and engage hyperdrive. I'm hoping that I don't have any issues with fuel. Heat levels critical, once again, from being close to a white dwarf. That could be a problem, actually, if I jump into a system with a white dwarf and don't have enough fuel to continue. Wow. Yeah, you could find yourself in a situation unable to scoop fuel. I wonder if you could scoop fuel from planets, because you could certainly do that in Frontier, but I wasn't able to scoop from that brown dwarf, so I'm wondering if that's a bug. Yeah, let's try scooping some fuel from this for now. Discovered one new astronomical object. Excellent. Let's just sit. Let that happen. Okay, Core Sys Sector. I think that was the one we wanted to go to. Right, lock destination. Oh wait, no, I need to target this thing so I get the research first. Gotta let my scanner do its work while my fuel is refueling. I'm obviously got my throttle all the way down right now so that the scan can happen. Once that kicks in, oh, we're in an anarchic red dwarf system. And so yeah, I'm going to target Core Sys Sector, lock destination. Heat levels critical! That's not a problem though. Fuel scooping complete, but I haven't got a full load of fuel at this time. Let's turn back towards the star. I gotta actually know where I'm going. There's Corsis sector. Yes, I'll just skip past this planet, this sun. Once I do so, I'll then turn and hit hyperdrive. These levels are critical, but you know what? They're not so critical that they're killing me. Come on, get me more fuel. I want to get more fuel. I need it. This thing has a really big fuel bay, I think. Well, yeah, you know what? I should probably turn away from the star just a bit. Let that go down. But I still haven't finished filling up. Man, this thing is brutal. I gotta run through the corona more than once. The photosphere of this sun, full of the precious fuel that I need to carry out this grand voyage of discovery, a pilgrimage to the homeland, the cradle of humanity. There we go. Heat levels critical. I'm running at 15,000 kilometers per second. That is quite sprightly, one might say. Ooh, look at that prominence there. That is so cool. And yeah, gotta get a little closer so that my fuel continues to get scooped. It doesn't show me. I guess that bar, when that bar reaches 100%, then I will have a full fuel load and I will be able to depart. Okay, gotta get a little closer because I'm not taking the fuel as quickly as I would like. This could take a little while. It is a magnificent sight though, watching the surface of the sun come beneath me like that. Heat levels critical once again. Now I can get up to about 150%, right? But it heats up a lot faster than it cools down, so that's something to be aware of. Okay. Just try to keep it on my right. Keep the value from getting too high. Oh yes. Obviously gotta make sure that I'm using my sunblock here. Sunblock, very important when you're flying through the space near suns. Ultraviolet radiation is even more dangerous in deep space. Look, here we are, we get Corsis sector once again dialed in. I think at this point I'm just going to throttle up and head over this way. We're just about to lose our fuel scoop. Hyperspace. I'm hoping this is going the way that we want. Also to be aware is that as soon as you leave the star, just be wary of hyperdriving as soon as you leave, because hyperdriving increases your heat very quickly. You can very quickly overheat your spacecraft by enabling frameshift drive. Once again, entering witch space, hearing whispers of lost voices in the strange warped void that is hyperspace. I hear that it's possible for spacecraft to hang in here, causing trouble. Okay, I'm gonna target this. I'll just leave that targeted while I go and look for another system. Galaxy map. Galaxy map. Okay, hopefully that was the right direction that I was going. Where's Sol once again? There's Aldebaran, there's Sol. So I'm gonna go to Trippin next, I think. Shall I? Or LHS 336. Getting closer. Getting closer. LHS 336, select destination. That will probably mess up my scan, right? Did I scan that thing? Well, never mind. I could collect the data. Fuel scooping, excellent. That didn't last very long. Hyperdrive. So yeah, they've added Federation and Imperial capital ships to the game. You will get, you can actually get back to the fighting around those targets in the combat bonds. The mission system has been hugely expanded. It's no longer simply go from A to B. you will sometimes get to carry stuff from A to B, and then you'll get interdicted by a ship saying, hey, this is a trap, you should fly to C and give me your stuff, and then that can open up a whole range of options for a commander that's willing to perhaps, you know, anger one group versus another. Okay, let's run this down here, and I'm gonna get to the galaxy map. And Capella. I gotta keep turning things around all the time. There's Sol. Okay, so LHS 340. Can I get if I go there? Yeah, there's nothing if I go that way. I'll go to LHS 340. That seems to be the obvious choice. And that's 10.5 light years. If LHS 337 is an option, that's great. But 340 is where I'm definitely going. Okay. Navigation. 337. Oh, it's right at the very edge. Uh-oh. Ah ha 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 ha. Yes, gotta go and try and deal with this target because I don't want to have to stop. The only problem, as I've pointed out before, is that you get interdicted near a star, you could find yourself in flying into the corona, which can cause you to explode. And exploding is never a good thing. Oh man, this thing is really pushing hard, but I think I've got this guy under control. Excellent. Now, where was I going? Oh, I lost my target. Lock and engage hyperdrive. Yes. Well, I don't know who that was, but it certainly wasn't a player. Although, players do seem to like to interdict people. It's quite good, actually. It's quite fun, especially when they come up against me and I shoot them down. 3, 2, 1. And of course, throttle back to 0. Throttling to 0 is an important trick to learn in Elite. When you're about to launch from a space station, make sure your throttle's 0. When you come out of hyperdrive, make sure your throttle is 0, right? Because if you come out of frameshift, make sure your throttle is 0 because you don't know where you're going. Okay. Once again, target this thing. Maybe if I go down just enough, yeah. I'll start picking up some fuel here. Treppin. Galaxy map. The next place, having gone all the way here. Oh, there's Sol. Oh man, it's all dead-ended here. There's no way to get through. Ah, man. That's a problem. There's no way to cross that vast gulf of space here. Can I get to LHS 397? It's 12.9 light years. Oh man. Do I have to go like over some other route? What's the best way to go here? I guess I can go all the way back there and go down to Corsis Pool. Ah, look, it's Pool. Okay, that could be a problem. Mata, how far is Mata? 17 light years. LHS 2477. 8.32 light years. I guess that might be the way I have to go. This is a bit of a setback, literally. Okay. Well, so much for that. As impressive as that star is, I gotta get myself out of here. And my fuel is getting is going down, but I hope I can get to Sol before I run out. Or at least I hope I can get there with minimal fuel scooping. How much fuel do I have on this thing? That's a good question, actually. Cargo, state, oh, there we go, lost my... I think somebody might have fitted this with a super large fuel tank. Either that or somebody's made a bug with the fuel consumption, because I'm getting a really long way on this thing. Also have a nice cup of tea with me here. It's a Saturday morning. Nice cup of tea to help me get through the day. Okay. Deep space unknown. Target this thing, throttle down, and go to the galaxy map. Oh, there's a place called Guy. Now, I wonder if the fuel scoop's actually still going on at this point. Okay, let's see how this looks. I think I have to go to Corsis sector thingy. 9 light years away. And then from there, actually this one, I think this is the place to go. It's 10 light years and then I can go down here. That might be the way to go. Okay. Oh, did I select it as destination? No, I didn't. That's really smart of me. I've got to go back to the galaxy map. So wait. There's Sol. There's Corsus. And that'll take me down to this. And then hopefully there's a way to go from that. Select destination. Turn around. Yeah, maybe while I'm here, I'll just continue to fill up my tanks. That requires a little bit of careful flying. Heat level's critical, but I can manage it. Oh, this is glorious. Completely glorious flying over this star. Okay, you can see my fuel consumption rate is actually going down, but my heat is going up. That means I'm kind of moving away from the star, but my heat levels are still maintaining high. Okay, now I can perhaps continue to fly in towards the star once again. Yeah, I think this thing must have a really big fuel tank on it. It's very nice of them to give me a, spacecraft with such a big fuel tank. Either that or I have a really crappy fuel scoop, because it only cost me like a few hundred credits, and it was a lot cheaper than any other fuel scoop I'd bought. Okay, 144. I should probably turn away from the star. Uh-oh. Temperature critical. Okay, let's slow down a little once again. Getting a little bit of smoke in the cockpit here. Never a good thing. I might have to just go away for a little while and let this thing fuel up, because you don't necessarily want to sit and watch me talk about stars all the time. Yeah, the interesting thing about stars is that many of them do have an incredibly well-defined surface, because it's essentially the point at which the photons transition from bouncing from one gas particle to another to traveling into free space, and it literally is a few thousand kilometers, a tiny, tiny part of the radius of the sun as it transitions from bouncing around internally to shooting off into space. Your typical energy released or created at the core of the sun through nuclear fusion takes about 100,000 years to actually reach the surface. But we know that the sun is still producing energy at its core because we can see the neutrinos coming out, right? The neutrinos basically fly out at the speed of light. Very few of them get stopped. Whereas, and we're getting too hot again. Oh dear, temperature critical. Come on, let me out of here. Let me cool down just a bit. There we go. Hull integrity compromised. I'm really messing things up here. Well, let's get into hyperdrive. Actually, we need to find out where we're going. I bet you the sun is in the way once again. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to fly around the sun to actually see this thing. And it's taken so long. I think I bought the cheapest fuel scoop possible, and therefore I'm getting punished by having to fly around in the sun's corona for a really, really long time. Darn me and my cheapness. It was the only one available in the Founder system, in my defense. Okay. Well, I might just edit this whole thing out, because I'm gonna run out of facts about stars soon. I didn't even scan this system, did I? LHS 2447A. At least nobody is attacking me at this point. Okay, throttle up to 100%. Break free of the corona, and once I'm into deep space, I'll then hit hyperdrive. Fuel scooping complete. Frame shift drive charging. Everything getting hot. 6% hull damage due to my ineptitude. Oh well. Hopefully, we can get to Sol. 3, 2, 1. If this has got such a big fuel tank, I wonder how much it's going to cost to, refill it. That could be a painful experience for my wallet. Of course, I'll get to Sol and then I'll find out that everything's super expensive because so many people want to live there. It'll be like the San Francisco of star systems, where everything costs twice what it does elsewhere. Okay, target this. Well, let's take a look. Modules, fire groups, cargo. Cargo doesn't tell you how much fuel you have, does it? Interface brightness. No, where do you find out how much fuel your spacecraft has in detail? There's an eagle near here. Okay, so guess I need to go to the galaxy map. We've scanned this thing? Yes, it's an M dwarf. Okay. So now, have we cut back far enough that we can continue on our path towards Sol? Let's go to Core Sys Sector DLY something or other. Select destination 10 light years, bringing us hopefully closer to where we want to be. At least when we're sitting in the Corona we have more fuel coming in than we're burning, so to speak. It's not really burning, consuming. There's no burning involved here. Fuel scooping complete. DLY D118. I wonder who that is owned by. Like, I wonder where that name comes from, if that's a... I don't think that's a real designation, but I'm wondering why we would have stars so close to the sun which are not documented. I'm pretty sure that must correspond to a real star from a real catalogue, but I don't know which catalogue is the real question. You see, there have been several catalogues of stars compiled over the years. Oh, look at that! We've got two suns really close to each other. That is pretty sweet. Well, let's target this. Get in very close, start refueling. So, now the next thing to do is find the next location. Galaxy map. Galaxy map. Where are we in the galaxy map? Aldebaran. Where's Sol, once again? I've lost Sol! Damn it! How can I lose the sun? Oh, interdiction detected. Okay. I'm submitting to interdiction. Where is this target? Cold Heart, mostly harmless. Okay. This guy is already in on me. There he is. Mostly harmless. But he's actually pretty good by the looks of things. Come on. Well, that'll be fun. He's got no shields. He is a very brave pilot if he thinks he can take me on with no shields. Okay, let's try targeting his frameshift drive. He has multi-cannons, cargo scanner. I don't know why he's attacking me, because I've got no bounty and no cargo. He's probably just one of those griefers. Which is good. Cold Heart. Named by a player, because everybody that had submitted, you know, to the Kickstarter, they all got a chance to name characters. Come on, just a little more. Put more power into my weapon system so that the cooling kicks in. Ha! You think you can outturn me? Well, I have some capabilities that you... Well, actually, you can actually outturn me because you're flying a Sidewinder. However, I can outrun you if necessary, and I'm certainly going to outshoot you because I have the skills, and you have... Oh, and you have AI, which is clearly not capable of handling my firepower. 11%. We're so close to winning. Come on. Oh yes, we shall tell the epic tales of how we killed Cold Heart near a hot star. Ah, he didn't even have a bounty. You've made your last jump, Space Dust. This is pretty sweet, I have to say. Look at that. Ah, man. Very nice. Okay. Well, back to the galaxy map. I'll target this while I'm looking for the next location. So where were we? We were trying to find Sol. Where the hell is Sol gone? It's gone and hidden away from me so that I can't find it. Maybe if I zoom out I'll be able to see it better. Ah, there it is there. Oh, I'm actually below Sol. That's what's happened. I'm expecting it to be above me, but in fact it's below me. Okay. LTT, is that in range? Nah, I've got to go to Core Sys Sector MCVB27. Rolls off the tongue like a... well, like a registration number. Okay, there we go. Not much fuel required for this jump. Oh, frame shift, of course, delayed by stuff sitting out. I've left all my hardware hanging out. Showing off my goods, so to speak. Yeah, if you want to know what a hostile target has, you know, kind of weapon systems, you can always use the subsystem targeting so that you can select the weapons and it'll tell you whether it has a multi-cannon or a laser and things like that. I think it might be a bug that since this release has come out, I've seen a lot more pirates with no shields. They seem to be incredibly bold. Okay. And this seems to be an inordinately long jump, considering I'm only jumping 4 light years to the nearest system. I hope the game doesn't crash. That would be unfortunate, because I haven't actually stopped at any stations, so it would just be my luck that the game would crash and force me to, you know, restart from whatever system I was in. I think it does actually periodically quick save now. That's one of the things they've done. Okay, I'm just pointing this back at the sun. Heat levels critical. I was actually trying to scan this target so that I'd give myself a little bit of cash. Yeah, this seems to be better. Just like point down towards the star at 30 kilometers per second, and the fuel intake is running at a reasonable rate. There's an anarchic red dwarf once again. Of course, this game uses the term anarchy in a way that makes anarchists mad, but that's always funny when people get really mad about political systems in video games not being a true representation of their philosophical truth. Okay, can we get to Lighton 135? It's 12 light years. No, gotta go to LTT instead. Select destination. Exit. So we'll just turn around and start heading the way that we need to go. Of course, because I'm moving at the lowest possible speed, my engines are... my turn rate is very, very low, and I wanted to scratch my head there for a second, and I knocked the little track IR thing off my head. That's pretty funny. Sorry about that. I literally knocked my head off. Let's just make sure. Okay. We're all setting to go. Yeah, I use track IR to look, and they have added free track support to the game because a lot of people were building their own tracking systems, which is pretty cool. You know, I'm a big fan of people that build awesome cockpits and things like that to make their games more cool, more awesome. Being involved, it always makes for a better universe, let's say. People that can get passionate about stuff, always good. Although, there is a point of being too passionate that you start to become irrational. That turns into being comical. This does happen, unfortunately. It seems to happen more so with Kickstarters, because people are invested in games. They start to say really ridiculous things that don't actually, you know, match up to reality or whatever. Okay, I'm going to throttle down to 0, scan this thing, and then we'll pick the next target, which I think is... I wonder if Lighton is actually on here, because... Ah, there's 2 of them and I don't know which one's which. Come on. Oh, we've scanned it. Okay, so back to Galaxy Map. Galaxy Map. I'm travelling towards the sun. And there's Sol there. Let's go to this one. Oh, look at that. It's practically 2 star systems really close to each other. Let's go to this one. Select destination. We're almost there. Our grand pilgrimage across the stars will soon be complete, except that I have to travel around the star to actually see this thing. That's fine. I need to scoop anyway. Just hope I don't melt my spacecraft again. Okay, 6 light years and hyperspace initiated. Leave this thing behind. Oh, someone's trying to interdict me while I'm hyperspacing? That is interesting. I wonder if I just keep pointing at the sun, whether... Yeah, if I'll jump out instead. 3. So long, sucker! That's like the end of... That was pretty cool, actually. The effect on that was totally different. I hope that doesn't break the game. It was like the end of Empire Strikes Back, where they're all like, I'm going to pull you in with the tractor beam. No, they shoot off into hyperspace. Yes. And of course the captain of the Star Destroyer is like, not so happy. Kind of walks away from Vader, hoping that he won't get choked to death for his incompetence. Although it wasn't his incompetence, it was... Yeah. It was the hero's awesomeness that really saved them. Okay, man, we're really starting to get close to these. Oh, Alpha Centauri, I know that. We have to go to Alpha Centauri. Lock and engage hyperdrive. That's it, because we know that Alpha Centauri is within, you know, spitting distance of Earth. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh, not good. Not good, not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. Where is... This was a really bad plan. Oh dear. Yes, that was really, really stupid. Oh man, in my eagerness to get over there, I made myself heat up to 200%. I've been through the fire and the flames, but soon I shall visit Sol. I shall bask in its cool waters and busy cities and all that. The world shall be mine. And I'm definitely having enough fuel, but one wonders whether I'll be able to afford it. Wow, that was really a quick moment of irrationality, of eagerness, put me in a really bad situation. Okay, we're in a Confederate system, as in that's how it's governed. And now we need to find Sol. We have a Hutton orbital, unidentified signal source. Oh, there's so many stars here. Where's Sol though? It must be... I went past it. There's Barnard Star. There's Sol. Locked destination. Let's not engage hyperdrive until we know that we're heading in the right direction. There we go. We have reached the end. Too fast for safe exit. Wrong button. Yes. Hyperdrive engaged. Leaving this star behind. Now, I'm wondering if you look here... Oh, you can't see in the navigation. Alpha Centauri in Frontier had Alpha Centauri and Proxima Centauri in the same solar system, so you had to fly a really long way between them. Okay. And will it be magnificent? Will this be life-changing? And you notice me just looking over to the left there, that's because the kitty jumped up on the desk. Here we go. Scooping fuel from our actual sun. That is magnificent. Neptune. Earth. Earth, that is the place we want to go. Earth is hugely important. Actually, what we should do is find all the places that are nearby. Mercury is nearby. There it is, right there. Let's go to Mercury first. I want to see Daedalus Station. These planets will all be based off of the, you know, procedurally generated stuff. I wonder if they have an actual map for Mercury. Mercury is an interesting planet because when I was at school, my teacher told me that it rotated with one side always facing the sun. And it turns out that's completely rubbish, but a lot of people thought it was true because when Pioneer flew past Mercury, it flew past it in an orbit that meant that it was brought back at the same time to the same location. So it just so happened that it completed, the satellite, the probe, did 2 orbits around the sun, and Mercury did 3, I think. And in that time, Mercury rotated exactly the right amount so that it only showed the same side twice. So people naturally presumed it was tidally locked to the sun, even though it's actually tidally locked in a 3-2 resonance, which means that it rotates 3 times for every 2 rotations. Yeah, I think I may have my numbers messed up there. Point is, Mercury is not tidally locked to the sun, but a lot of people seem to report that as true. There's a bunch of things I learned as a kid which turned out weren't true, like how there was an American company that was looking for manganese, trying to mine the ocean floor for manganese nodules. That was actually a CIA cover story for the recovery of a Russian submarine that had sank off of Hawaii. There's Mercury. We do actually have a full map of Mercury now. We have much better map that covers the whole hemisphere. For a long time we only had half. Look at it. It does actually look right. Mercury's one of the densest planets in the solar system because one imagines that all the light, volatile materials have been knocked off its surface. There we go, how beautiful is that? Okay, we have Mars. Let's go to Mars. That's where I'm headed. No, there we go, Mars. Mars needs Cobra Mark IIIs. 1.5 days away at my current rate. I hope I can go a little faster. There's Jupiter, we gotta get to Jupiter, and Saturn of course, because we know that the ring systems in this game are stunning. So to see the Saturnian ring system will be truly harking back to the origins of this, I guess. Get your ass to Mars. That's it. Now we're starting to pick up some speed. 0.1c. 0.2c. One thing I'm missing though is the 3D solar system map. That's something that I want to see in a future release. I want to see the planetary landing. That's going to be really important. I want to see walking around in stations and modding tools at some point. You know, it is unfortunate that we've lost completely offline mode, because that would be the obvious place where you could mod the game and add in your own features. But if the developers add in legitimate modding support, then that'll be great. You know, I think that people are overreacting perhaps to losing completely offline mode. I mean, yes, it's unfortunate to lose any features, but ultimately, you know, the game is delivering most of what we asked for, and we've all seen Kickstarters that haven't even delivered the final game. You know, Clang, that was a high-profile one developed by Neil Stevenson, a realistic medieval sword-fighting simulator. They just gave up, basically. They said, you know what, we cannot make an interesting game out of this. So yeah, if you got the prototype, enjoy it, even though it's not very enjoyable. Everyone else, sorry. You know, we'll send you your physical goods. We might send some refunds on a case-by-case basis, but yeah. You're not even guaranteed that you're gonna get the... You're not guaranteed to get what you need. Okay, that's interesting. Mars is blue. You know why it's blue? It's because it's been terraformed. Look at that. It's not the red planet. It is the blue planet. I've no idea where they got all the water from, because really it doesn't make sense to have that much water on Mars. You would have to capture an awful lot of comets to make that happen. But look at that. I guess it still has Olympus Mons as a giant mountain on it. I wonder if they have that. Okay, let's go to what's Jupiter's here? But what's this one? Saturn. Yeah, let's go to Jupiter and then Saturn. It's nice that they're kind of in line. We're not going to do gravity assist. We're just going to fly from one to the other. We still have plenty of fuel, hopefully. Yeah, still no idea where I would find out how much fuel is on this thing. We have a Federal Security Service spacecraft heading this way, a hauler. I'm presuming this is a pretty high security system, right? Because this is like the base of Earth. This is the center, the capital. Yeah, okay, there we go. Jupiter is... Sorry, actually, let's go to Io, because Io will look cool as well. Look like the giant pizza hanging in space because of all those sulfur volcanoes. Volcanoes that have no doubt turned the planet inside out several times in the last 1,000 years. Well, maybe not. I don't think the level of cycling is nearly that fast, but Io is one of those planets that does have a very fast lithosphere cycle. You know, the Earth is like that as well. The Earth, if you think about it, it has the crust is continually being turned over. Like, if you imagine a crust forming on food that's being cooked, you know, that's really like the Earth. It's just that we see it so slowly, the rocks seem solid, but in fact everything's moving, bubbling and boiling and turning over time. It's very rare to find rocks that are, you know, billions of years old. There's only a handful of places on the Earth which have rocks that are over 3 billion years old, because the surface turns over so much. It's only little islands of stability that have just managed to avoid being subducted and sucked into the mantle and converted into, you know, lava and returned to the surface once again. You know, our illusion of stability on Earth is just that, an illusion. On long time scales, it is a very violent place. I've got Orion sitting next to me here. He's actually now trying to show off, but yeah, he's come down to watch me play this. I don't know, this is just me mucking around in this. I have no real plan. I'm certainly not trying to make money. I just wanted to get to the Sol system and show it off. There's Jupiter. There's Jupiter. And Io does have a station around it, actually, yeah. It has a station in orbit. I'm gonna slow down and take a look at this. Interesting that it looks really grey here. I guess they've not really tried to come up with the super bright colours. Either that or they haven't got a model for Io yet. In which case they should fix that, because Io is one of those ones that at least in enhanced colour looks absolutely amazing. It just kind of looks like Ganymede. Io, of course, is being heated by the tidal heating of orbiting Jupiter and the other planets, the other moons around it. Yeah, that is not the Io I was looking for. Well, never mind. Let's get out and head over to Saturn. Saturn... and let's select it from here. I'm going to fly over the top of Jupiter to make sure I can get out. Saturn, lock destination. And we'll pick up some speed. Moving at 1700, 2000 kilometers per second. 3000 kilometers per second. Just watch. You know, people comment in the videos that the planets seem absolutely tiny, but you've got to realise here that I'm moving at 10,000 kilometers per second now. I'm crossing the width of the Earth in a second. Now I'm moving at 20,000 kilometers per second. You know, space is big, and so you need a drive system that lets you move super, super fast if you're really going to explore it. There's Europa, Ganymede. He's telling me to slow down. Not likely. I have a planet to go to. I have to visit Saturn. And maybe we should visit Titan while we're there. Titan will be orange if they've done it properly. They might not have done it properly, given that they haven't had proper time. Yet, seems to me that high priority would be to get Titan and Io working correctly. And yeah, I should take a look at Uranus as well to see if it's blue. Neptune should also be blue. Ah, man. And there's the galaxy. Wonder if we can pick out constellations. That's a good idea, actually. The obvious one to pick out would be Orion. Maybe people thought that's what I meant when I said Orion is on my left here. No, I'm talking about my son Orion has come to sit and watch, and he's now doing the sign of the devil or whatever. Dude, rock and roll! He just like wants to be part of this thing. He's such a cute kid. Yes. Heading off to Titan. Oh wow. This is bringing so much back. Not in the original Frontier, of course, you did this by accelerating and then you would use time shift to get from one place to another. Having frame shift means that time isn't elapsing any faster on the outside than it is on the inside. And then we're slowing down a little just to make sure that I get there in time, or just to make sure we don't fly into the planet. These rings will probably not be things that you can mine. They will be like ice rings, I would imagine. Best theory is, of course, that it's moons as they come in close, but within the Roche limit, they get torn apart by the tidal forces. As the gravitational gradient gets too strong, it tears the planet apart. Now, people have seen Interstellar and they say, wait, that's not right. How can you get so close to a black hole without getting torn apart? And the answer is, of course, that as black holes get larger, their gravitational tides get weaker. So if you have a 1 solar mass black hole, you can't get very close to it without getting torn apart. But if you have a black hole that's hundreds of thousands of solar masses, you can get much closer without having to worry yourself about getting torn apart. You see, it's not the force of gravity, but the rate of change of the force of gravity that defines how strong the tides are. Okay, moving on, let's fly around Saturn, and then let's head to Earth. We've seen all the important ones. Are there rings on this? I guess I'm exactly edge on to the rings, so I should probably fly out of the plane a little if I'm going to see the rings around Saturn. Are they there? Have they missed the rings on Saturn? No, I think there's some rings there. Yeah, they're super, super light here. Not as dense as I would imagine. It's really interesting that the rings are so weak. I wonder if they've decided that they're evolving on, you know, 1,000-year timescale, because there are some models that predict that in 1,000 years or so the rings of Saturn will be vastly different due to the motions of shepherd moons and things like that. Look at this. It's nice. I wonder if I can fly through the gap. Well, we're going to find out. I'm going to slow down just a bit though and fly over these. Yeah, well, Saturn actually looks pretty good, although it would be nice to have some storms and things like this. Here we go. Through the rings. Totally works. Okay, let's get out into deep space and head to Earth, because Earth is where we want to be, right? Selecting this, and I'm getting all excited. Let's go to Abraham Lincoln, right? For no apparent reason other than it begins with the letter A. I could go to Mikhail Gorbachev, but no doubt he would be, well, I guess I should go to Mikhail, because he is like me. He has an efficient hairstyle, right? You know, there's a funny observation that if you look at the leaders of the Soviet Union and Russia, then they alternate between being bald and having hair. And it goes back a really, really long way. There's even a song that shows this off, that, you know, Mikhail had hair and then Yeltsin didn't. Whatever. I can't actually remember enough people. You know, Khrushchev and Brezhnev and oh, there's so many. Stalin obviously had hair. I guess Stalin was followed by Khrushchev, who didn't, and then, you know, Brezhnev did. I will have to go and look at my history. But yes, you know, that's it's not part of the selection process. The Central Authority hasn't planned this. Oh, look, wait, is that the Pleiades there? Is that the star cluster of the Pleiades? Oh, you know what? Let's actually slow down and see if I can see. The obvious one to look for would be Orion, which should be somewhere. And this is always a hard one for me to see. You know, because the width of, pardon me, the size of things in the sky is really, you know, our eyes see it differently because our field of view is different. I'm looking for, yeah, I don't know, where would it be? I'm not very good at tracking stars across the sky. Oh, wait, could that be it? No, what you're looking for is like the belt. Oh wait, no, that's a galaxy there. I'm sure somebody will point it out. That might actually be what I'm looking for. This could be Orion, but it doesn't look big enough in the sky. Okay, well, never mind. Let's get to this. Get my ass to Earth. Pardon me, I've got a little tickle in my throat there. I don't want to cough all over this, so I'm drinking my nice cup of tea. Very important to a space traveler to make sure you have enough tea. Oh, the end of this epic quest is approaching. Hopefully they won't charge me a ridiculous amount of money to dock at this station. This one which is associated with, you know, great historical moments in Earth. Yeah, nothing is really jumping out at me as... That really does look like the Pleiades though, because you've got the stars in the right place. So I guess I'm trying to figure out where, relative to that, where Orion would be, and I don't think it would be that close. That's why I'm kind of confused. Obviously, the real Orion is on my left. He's all excited for the NASA space launch at the start of December, where they're going to be throwing Orion up into a highly eccentric orbit up high above the Van Allen belts, so it will plunge back through the atmosphere and test its heat shield and everything else in the process. Yeah, that will be exciting. Although I've heard that because of funding issues, Boeing have basically laid off several hundred of their space launch system engineers. You know, it's just because of the way funding with the government works that they can't have a consistent job, unfortunately, even on a project this big. Still, I hope to see the space launch system fly at some point, even although it is rather more ambitious Maybe we will see Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, you know, fill the gap at some point. Abraham Lincoln, coming up. Slow down, we do not want to crash into it. Oh dear, throttling way, way back. I think I'm going to manage it, yes, okay. Now we get 6 seconds, 7 seconds. So these stations are all in geostationary orbit, so perhaps I should actually fly closer to Earth first, just to make sure I get a look at this planet. Geostationary orbit is surprisingly long way from the planet. And now, yeah, now I still have I have so much fuel in this thing. I should check this out once I land. I bet you it's going to charge me a ridiculous amount of money. What? Yeah, I think there's a lot of people around here. There's Abraham Lincoln. Yes, sitting... It's actually not in geostationary orbit. I thought they were in geostationary orbit originally, but I guess they changed it so that you can get in close and see the planet Earth. I wonder if I can see my house from here. What are we coming up on there? We have... Is it going to have a custom map that's appropriate for the planet Earth? I'll know once I get in closer. That looks like it might... That's Australia and Indonesia. Yeah, totally. So, if I fly around the planet Earth this way, I should get to see everything. Except I think it might be nighttime. You know what? I wonder if... Oh, wait a second. Because it's just in the morning here, it might be just the morning. No. Actually, no. This is wrong. It's not matched up to the real world rotation. So I thought they might have just taken the real world rotation and shifted it by, 3,000 years, but that's not what they've done apparently, because it's not yet daytime in Australia, if I figure this out correctly. There's somebody else flying around, although there's not... I haven't got players enabled, I've got it in solo mode, so that is an NPC who is investigating Earth. Oh man, isn't this magnificent? Yes. It's just like Space Engine, but with goals, you know? And money to spend, and bad guys. There's Mercury. We're gonna see sunrise over the planet Earth soon. Yeah, it seems to be the rotation is like 90 degrees, or 180 degrees off. There we go. Just keep it on my side here. I'm not too close, am I? There we go. I like the music in Frameshift Drive, it just feels nice. Come on, is there some... This should be the Pacific Ocean here, so yeah, I think you can't see my house because it's just on the other side of the Pacific. Yeah, it seems to be off by about 90 degrees, so where is the target I was looking for? Target I was looking for... Oh, Abraham Lincoln's still on the far side of the planet. I guess I'll fly around. Yeah, that's the giant Pacific Ocean. There's that might be Hawaii there, actually. That's the only island, I think, in the middle of the Pacific that would be big enough to show up from orbit. And there's Indonesia and Australia. Australia, a place I'd love to visit one of these days. I don't know why, I mean, I think because Australia is the furthest I can go from where I started without going into space. I want to find the tallest mountain and stand on it. Tallest mountain on the equator, and then kind of reach out and look for, get as close to space as possible. Just, if I can get a little closer, I can take one further step in my ambition of going into space. Abraham Lincoln, coming up. 0.13 light seconds out. Travelling at 1500 kilometers per second. Slowing down. Yeah, it is in geostationary orbit, given how fast I'm having to travel to get there. 7,000, 6,000, 5,000. This is the end of a really, really long voyage, and probably the longest video I've ever made of this game. I suspect it will take a really, really long time to encode, especially since it's been recorded at 60 frames per second. It's probably going to be like a 100 gigabyte file. Abraham Lincoln, a suitably impressive location above Earth. We should be able to see it. Actually, is Earth... I wonder where Earth actually is. I don't know. But we should ask for docking permission, right? Docking request granted. Now the next place I'm going to have to do is go off into absolute deepest reaches of space. Find something to do. Ah, yeah. This just brings back so many amazing memories of what... This is what it was like in my head. Those flat shaded polygons were really just substitutes for what I wanted the game to look like. Oh yes. Proceed to landing pad 6. Landing gear out. Welcome home, Commander. Welcome home to Earth. Many, many years ago, thousands of years ago, your ancestors all lived here. Oh, and yes, they were presumably better drivers than you. Well, that's it. I think we'll, okay, apparently I can't enter hangar. There, that's not gonna work. Oh, now it's fixed. Yeah, it's gonna cost me 4,000 to refuel this spacecraft and thousands to repair, and yeah, what's on the bulletin board? Lots of information? No information. A waste refinery, food needed, seeking special gifts, light transport to Barnard Star. Okay, yeah. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this voyage to the motherland. We'll be playing more of this in the coming weeks. Until then, until the next episode, I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.